So, hello and welcome along to another edition of Isolation Interviews for Hospital Radio Reading and for my YouTube channel. It's a Neighbours special. We have two of the stars of the show joining me. I'm super excited to announce, first of all, the return of Sally Ann Upton, who has appeared on the show in the past. She is fantastic. Welcome back, Sally.
Hello, darling.
We're also joined by the super talented Robyn Arthur, who, of course, people will know as Moira, but you've done so much else as well. Welcome along, Robyn. How are you?
Thank you. Great to see you.
It's
Terrific. Thanks.
I was going to say it's an absolute pleasure to have you both on. Now, I wanted to first of all start off with because people may not know this, but you two have been friends for a very long time. So, how did you meet
Yeah.
each other? How did where did you first meet?
Yeah, well, we met through a dear friend, Gary Young, the director and writer of Sideshow Alley.
Oh no, we met
Oh,
before
we met
that.
before that. When was it?
I'll tell the story because
Over
it
to
was in a
you.
moment. A Chapel off Chapel, which is a venue here in South
South Yarra.
Yarra.
Yeah.
And I went along, it was years and years ago, and I went along to the cabaret section and I came out of the theatre looking at something. I don't even know what show that was. And I walked into the foyer part and there was a piano with Martin Croft playing, and lovely Robyn was singing, and I just was mesmerized by what I was seeing, but more so what I was hearing, this woman's voice. And I thought, well, I'm not going out to my car. I'm going to sit here and wait. And I'm not a drinker, but I just sat there and thought, this is amazing. And I waited until the set was finished and walked up to her and just told her how brilliant she was. And then it was just one of those things where we rolled along and we've been mates ever since.
Yeah, we sure have.
But our first time working together was Sideshow Alley.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which was an amazing new Australian, well, it was a musical.
Yeah.
And we got taken up to Brisbane and we were trying to run it in out of town. And it was the most amazing piece, Sideshow Alley. And
It
you
was,
played.
sure. I played the woman who was married to the owner of the sideshow.
Yeah.
Well, it was the couple who ran it, and our sons were in the boxing troupe and all of that. So it was very much a big family.
I was Fag Ashley, all the bearded lady. And we struck it up, but that was one of the most amazing productions. I've never been in a production like that where everybody got on.
Yeah, we did.
We all loved one another and got on. But unfortunately, well, I'm going to be frank, tits went up out of it. And we still to this day don't know what happened really. And it was tragic because it was a show that should have continued.
Yeah, it was supposed to come straight to Melbourne after that, wasn't it?
But we're still, everybody is still friends with each other. Emma. Gorgeous Emma, and it was just amazing. But we've been mates ever since.
Yeah, we have.
And now we just live down the road from each other. So,
I mean,
I moved a couple of years ago, about 4 years ago now, and I went, we're almost neighbours, Sal.
I mean, did you ever think that fast forward to sort of current time and you would be both working on Neighbours at the same time together and getting to work together?
I know it. Look, nobody was more surprised than me. And also having been in Neighbours about 15 years ago when Delta was in it, I played her manager, Melody Jones. And I thought, it's rare in your life that you get two opportunities like that, and to come back into this as a brand new character. And then, of course, I knew Sal was in the series well before I came into it. And but then we were both saying, weren't we, wouldn't it be amazing? Sally, I remember saying,
it was you.
Oh, was it me? Yeah. Oh, there you go. If you moved into Irene Rising, that was our retirement village, wouldn't that be incredible? And I said to her, oh, you're too young, darling. You're too young. And she said, no, not quite. Yeah. So that's how it all started to happen.
Because me and Robyn, there's a difference now, because years ago you would never ever tell anybody if you're going for a role, or if another actor, you wouldn't, because they stole that from you and all that. That was years and years ago. And I've worked both in Sydney and Melbourne, and there's a different energy. It's changed now, but here in Melbourne we help one another. So it doesn't matter what role Robyn gets, I will help her with her lines and vice versa. And I used to do it a lot with Anne Phelan too. We used to do that. Anne Phelan and me used to ring each other up and go, "Are you going for Chicago? Yeah. What song are you doing for your audition? Because I don't want to do the same as you." We used to do that together. So Robyn used to help me with Vera's lines all the time. And then when she got Moira,
oh my God,
it was so exciting, because we would do the lines and then get on set and be match fit, So
I think I remember calling you and saying, "You're not going to believe this," when I told Sal that I was taking over this role, because I'd gone for a different role and it didn't come off, and it was only a short-term role, that one. And I just had this spooky feeling, and I thought, they're going to offer me something else. I've just got this feeling. And within a fortnight, they did. So that was just luck.
Now, I mean, just before we go a bit more into Moira, I wanted to ask Robyn about working with Delta Goodrem, because obviously, what a talent she is. I mean, did you ever imagine what she would go on to do and achieve when you were working with her?
No, I didn't, because she was, I think, just turning 18. Maybe she was only 17 when we started, and she'd just put her first single out. And when this lovely woman, Jan Russ, used to cast Neighbours, and I remember Jan saying, "Look, she's got a single out and we think it's going to be a big thing for her, And so I'd never heard of her, when we started. And it was beautiful to meet her, and she was very naive and, of course, very young. But then she went through the whole the cancer thing. It's got a different name. I'm sorry, I'm not giving it the right term. But she went through all of that and suffered bravely through that, really, and came out the other side, as we all know, to great success, fantastic. But, they kept me on doing so many different things. And I thought, oh, well, I must be doing something right.
It is like that. But Delta is... I've worked with Delta on different guises, and what you see is what she is.
Yeah.
She's a very beautiful, generous soul, that girl.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of time for Delta. She's a good egg.
Yeah, gorgeous person.
Yeah.
Beautiful, so talented. Oh, my God.
Because then I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was the same character that you were playing, and you then became like a dress fitter or something, and you found the dress for Steph Scully, I think, for her wedding.
That's right. Yes, I had a boutique. God knows how I afforded that, but anyway, I had a boutique. I was working in various guises, and it kind of had a feeling like she was covering her tracks. We never found out why. But gosh, look, it's probably 17 years ago now, Matthew. It's a long time ago. But, it was interesting coming back into Neighbours now in the last 18 months or so. It's much more a feeling of a family, and really so much care is put into it. It's a beautiful cast, honestly.
Cast and crew.
It's really knocked me out. I mean, I've been working for 50 years now in the industry, and I can honestly say it's one of the happiest times I've ever had, which is really saying something. But, yeah, great.
Now, I say, for both of you, it must be so lovely to be a part of the Irene Rising group. I mean, obviously, for you, Sal, your character wasn't initially part of Irene Rising, and you were very much getting to hang out with a lot of the youngsters. How has that been now that you're getting to work with a different group of people, and it does feel like you all get on so well?
Well, you mean as characters?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It just is like when I came into the household, all the young ones, although as characters, they found Vera irritating, but they loved having, we loved working together. So when they wrote me out of the shared household and to go into Irene, I just thought, well, I'm going into Irene, and I was so excited about what was coming up in Irene. So I went, well, you just got to go with the flow. There's no use. You can't stop it anyway. But they individually, all the kids kept going into the writing, going, oh, is there any chance that she can come back and all of that? Because we had a lot of fun. But we just loved Irene and all of the things, like especially the condom thing. When we got that thing, because we all get our scripts on the same day. So I text Robyn, are you home? No, I'm up at Preston Market. I'll be back home soon. Oh, God, wait till you get home. The script is hysterical. And then about 2 hours later, I get a call from Robyn going, she's howling, going, oh, my God. How are they going to shoot this? And I said, they will, and it'll be fantastic, But that's what's sad about it all finishing,
Hard to believe, really hard to believe.
And it really is a shock to us all, and we're still trying to get our head around it because it still hasn't sunk in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the writing's so inventive. They're always coming at it from a surprising angle. That's how I kind of...
Well, I think with the break, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
With the break of the hiatus when we thought we'd lost the show last time and then rejigging it, I, like Robyn, watch it every day ourselves because, yes, we know the storyline of what we're doing, but when we're not in it, we don't know. So to keep up with that is very important I find that, and so does Robyn. And it was just interesting to look at it and go, you look at Erinsborough now, and we talked about it last time, it's a bit more like a metropolis now, and the way they're shooting it, they're moving on really quickly. They don't dwell on storylines. And that's the feedback you get from fans and everything, and that's what makes it even more sad because we're shooting it differently. We've got lots of new things going on, and then all of a sudden it's gone this way. And also we've got the added frightening thought of what happens to that building, because the red brick part of it is heritage listed, but the rest of it goes to the developers, and that will be handed over in 2 weeks, and God knows what will happen. So it's very important for us to keep an eye on that building to make sure that we don't lose the heritage of the inside of that, because it's launched so many things, the Young Talent Time, Crawford's Productions, Prisoner, the list goes on, Bert Newton, all of that stuff. So it's
totally, isn't it? And it's a massive area. It's a very large area, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the fact that we used to shoot 2 episodes a day was incredible. There'd be a whole other rep shooting in studios out the back there or wherever we may be, And I just hats off in organisation to them all, because wow.
Scheduling.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I tip my hat to the scheduling.
Incredible.
Boys and girls.
And it was that time, of course, it's happened to everyone in every industry when COVID hit. And, sometimes you're missing a person. They have to go out. We're rewriting. I remember one day they said to me, Robyn, can you wait? We need to talk it through. We're going to give you another dialogue from another role. And I went, oh, okay, right. Oh, gosh. I hope it's not too much dialogue. I'm thinking. And then I sat down with them, went through it, and it was something like, oh, you're kidding. You're kidding. Oh, my God. And I went, yeah, I can do that.
I mean, the other great thing is as well with the Irene Rising group is obviously, you had, Shane who plays Gino. How has it been having him
Oh,
and Anne who obviously played Hillary? What's it been like as your group?
yeah.
And I mean, we will talk about the kind of the naked yoga in a little while because that must have been good fun. But how has it been working with the whole group within Irene Rising?
Oh, just fantastic. I mean, they're all seasoned professionals. They're all pros, you know. We've all been doing it for 50 years. I don't mean neighbours, but we've all been in the industry, you know. And so it was a total joy to work with them. And they're all bringing in a different take on those characters, you know, and how they're going to play them.
And
yeah,
the audience have got a lot to look forward to, because I know you don't see
Oh.
us very often, but there's a couple of storylines coming up, and
Ah.
one storyline that goes right through with a new character
that's right.
that is incredible. We're not going to say whether it's a he or a she because we don't want to spoil it, but you've got a lot to look forward to.
Yes, priceless stuff.
Priceless stuff coming up.
And so Sal and I have many opportunities where our two characters are going bang, 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 you know. Yes, it's challenging for the two of us, isn't it?
Sometimes you look at it and go, I don't want to say that to Robyn, but then you've got to realise it's not that, you know.
So
and the crew love it. You see, because of all the different age groups, and this is what's unique about this show, is we've got little babies right up until people in their 80s, 85, 87. And you just go, what a diversity. And God bless Jason to have the foresight to write all this, because it is a thing that we're all coming across now, where you are trying to put your own family into aged care. And now we're at an age group where we can go in. It's like Vera going, well, I'm not that old, and realising, well, you don't have to be that old, you know.
Yes.
So I think it's lovely how those little touches come about, you know. And that's what's sad about it.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And the fact that they had the idea to bring in a retirement village, you know, into the show, which was a brilliant idea, and it serves that section of society, doesn't it? Because, you know, let's face it, nobody's getting younger. We're all
and there's so many people saying there should be a spin-off just on Irene, because they would pay to watch it, just those characters, you know. And it was like beautiful Rebecca, who plays Therese, when she first got told, and I don't think I'm speaking out of term here, but when she first got told that, you know, she's going to be the head of Irene Rising, she's thinking, oh, God, what's this going to be like? And then when all of the characters start coming in, it just opened up her world. She just loved it. And the crew love it too, because when you've got mature actors on there, we cut to the chase. And I'm not saying that the younger ones don't do that, but there's a couple of bad habits that come in with phones on set and all of that. But you don't have any of that with the oldies, because we just want to cut to the chase, get it done, because we want to be home as quick as we can. And also, you've got to respect your crew, because they worked so many hours. So many hours longer than what we do.
Incredible people. Yeah, really great people.
It must have also been really lovely to have Ian Smith and Anne Charleston back together, and to be a part of that must have been amazing. What was that like?
Oh, it was amazing. And I did quite a few scenes with Anne. Quite a lot with Ian playing Harold. It was really something. And it was great once again with Anne's character. We were at loggerheads, you know. And so, look, there was a lot of fun there, really. We used to have lunch together, and then we'd do a scene where she just would go, oh, God, here she is again meeting me, you know. And so I love those kind of extremes that the writers
and
put
even
in
at
there.
the CAF, even in the
CAF,
you know, when we go and have our lunch, and we've got a big group of us, it's just hysterical of, you know, the old section
Yes.
and people coming up to us saying stuff and whatever, and even doing
true.
the lovely the what you call them, titles, getting in the titles. We were so excited about that.
That's right.
And having that fun day. And Breeze, the producer, Breeze, she did a beautiful job of that. She was so inventive of what we wanted, and we just did it. And we had a great time doing that.
We certainly did. And I should also mention how it was a real honour working with Ian.
Yeah.
You know, the beautiful man, just the kindness of the man, the generosity of spirit, and the same for Anne, you know, and it was nothing but a pleasure always. Yeah.
And you look at Anne's work, like we're always deprecating of ourselves. You're a wanker if you're not, because those type of actors you go. And she was going, oh, am I this? And you look at her you look at her in the building, you look at her doing her scenes, but when you see it on screen, you go, hello.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't matter what it is. You know, you listen to Judi Dench put herself down and you think, stop. We've got to stop doing that, you know. We've got to herald. I think the only thing when you get a bit older is, gee, you like it when your scenes are in the morning.
Oh, very funny. Very funny. But the lunch and a nice cup of coffee help.
Yeah, it does help.
I'd love to give them a mention too. Of course we will. Alan Fletcher as Dr. Carl, and Jackie as Susan.
Yeah.
It's just superb. You know, they're all wonderful people. I could rattle through the whole cast list.
And Stefan, he's so generous. They're all generous people, and that's what's lovely about coming back for these 2 years, because a couple of people that maybe have been a bit round and in time, it was a beautiful feel and a sense of respect, you know. And when you look at even the people that do the editing, down to the people that fix the things. Phil, who we always call Phil the Urn because he's on unit, Phil the Urn. He's been there for years, but without Phil being on unit, it doesn't exist. You know, if there's a dunny that needs to be there, he's there. He's always filling up the urn. He's the first on, last off, you know.
Yeah.
You know, Danny, our safety officer. Amazing. It has been truly amazing.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Incredible people.
And I still think it's going to return. I've got a feeling.
Fingers crossed.
We really want it back.
Crossed.
Now, obviously, getting to finally be a part of the opening titles, you mentioned it briefly there, that must be so special to you guys, because it's kind of a bit of a, I know that within the cast, you know, there's always talk of, oh, will so-and-so make it to the titles. When that finally came for you guys, what was that like? How did you feel?
Oh, we were.
I think we were stunned.
Well, we rang each other straight away, so freaking excited. She was excited, and I said, "Yeah, Bucko, I've been waiting longer than you." You know, we're having a joke, and then we go and do it, and then we're so excited, and then it gets axed, and you just go, "Oh, holy!"
Oh, we did another version of it because in this current one we're playing Bol.
Yeah, because Anne's not in it.
Because we had Anne in it. That's right.
And they're clever like that. They shoot it so they can flip it in and flip it out.
Yeah.
And we've just lost Byron from the cast, and he's got an amazing adventure going over to Ireland and doing all that. And you know, and you look at Magella.
Oh,
what a gem that girl is, and stunning inside and out. She's our next Robbie.
Yes, I think so.
Margot Robbie.
Definitely.
And that beautiful Holly, Lucinda that plays Holly. What an amazing little actor.
Yeah.
The degrees that she's got to do.
Phenomenal.
And she does not falter. You know.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
It's been wonderful. And watching the young ones develop has been really good, you know. It's
Yeah, well, you never know.
I mean,
Crazy old
say
showbiz.
the great thing with the show is it really knows how to cast people. It really gets it right. You know, there are some, and it kind of, I would say that's the reason that people go on to success is because Neighbours is an amazing training ground for people. The work ethic you have to have to to do well in that show, you have to be on point. So I think the reason people go on to success is because they've had such a great start and they pick such talented people. I don't know if you agree.
No, I do agree. And the thing, I go, well, why can't we keep it going? You know, and people say, why doesn't somebody pick it up? And da 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 da. What about, Home and Away and stuff like that? But just realizing over the last few months of really researching into that, the amazing thing was Home and Away is owned by Seven. It's owned by a network, and it's written in the contract, long as Seven's there, so will Home and Away. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case for Neighbours because so many people owned it. So we haven't had Channel 10 owned it or Channel 9 owned it, we might have been in the same position. So that's what people have got to understand. It's not like Fremantle aren't putting the money behind it or anything like that. It costs a lot to put on a soap. It really does. And that's what's, fundamentally different for us. And it's unfortunate, but that's...
Oh, my God. And it is, really it was the major series for Melbourne.
Well, yeah, it still is.
The centre of the arts, I might add, still is the centre of the arts. We've kept our theatres here.
Yes, it is. And also every department has an attachment. So every department has that training ground. And that, it was kind of like one day we went, oh, we know this name, and they're the director. We're like, who is this? And I'm thinking, I've never worked with that director. We get on set, and it was one of the crew that have come up.
Yeah.
And we were so elated. And she was amazing.
Yeah, wasn't she?
And that's what I mean. And I sat there with Robyn and I said, this is what's sad, because this is what it's about.
They're doing. So many opportunities for people on every level of that production, being nurtured. Really, it was, brilliant the way they did it, really. But, yeah, it's sadly missed, not just by actors, but the whole team, How long have you been watching the show, I ask, Matthew?
Yeah, no, of course. So I used to, it was actually my gran and my mum that got me into the show. So I properly started watching it around about 2005. So I just missed your first appearance, annoyingly, but have gone back and watched it since. But yeah, that was kind of when I started. But I think about 2005 was when I properly 2007, sorry, was when I properly would watch it really like every day. Before that, I was just used to kind of drop in and drop out whenever my sort of gran was watching it. But I've been a fan ever since. Have never stopped watching. And yeah, it's just for me, it's and I think a lot of people in the UK, it's that kind of half hour of just sort of forget about what's going on in the world. And just enjoy it because, there are hard storylines, but then there's also comedy. And that's what Neighbours does so well is, 1 minute you can be, crying, because something sad's happened, but then the next minute you're laughing because, something funny happens. And it's that great mix. And I mean, actually, that leads on quite well to, I wanted to talk a little bit, Sally, about those scenes that you did with Shane, where you kind of had to nude up. Is that a weird one to do? Did you enjoy that? Was that uncomfortable? How was that?
Well, it's above my pay grade, really. No, I got a phone call. I was actually filming something else, and I got a phone call from Shane, the head writer at the time, and he said, look, I just want to flag with you, we've got a storyline coming up and I don't want you to worry and because we will have intimacy coach and everything like that, and it will be shot around. And I said, what is it? And he said, it's nude yoga. And I just went, what? Like that. And he said, and I said, because straight away I went, Oh my God! The first thought I thought after my initial shock was, is Robyn involved in this?
God,
Because I can imagine the phone call I'm going to get. And he went, no, it's just you and Gino, and we're going to have extras that are comfortable with being nude, and we're going to shoot around. And I thought, well, it's at the time slot it's in for us, 4:00. Well, they won't be showing anything that they shouldn't. Anyway, I thought, look, no show without punch. And sure enough, we went across and did it. The unfortunate thing on the day was so hot. But Ryan was the director of that, and he did the shots incredibly well. And the older guy next to me, it was his first time as an extra, and he was quite comfortable with being nude, Les, and he was 85.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
And he looked like that.
Wow.
And they socked him up and did all of that, and he was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. And the way it came up, I was really impressed with it. I thought it came up really, really well. And then it went viral, which was hysterical. And for me, dropping the weight that I have, having the comfortability of being like that. But then I thought of what I did in prison, in Wentworth. And I had to, I was 50 kilo heavier. So you just got to go with it, So, no, it was fun to shoot, and you were very well looked after. And the camera guys really get the angles right, and the way the candle was placed, I thought that was funny. And a lot was left on the cutting room floor, but it's very clever of how they've done that to move it along. It was really, really good. But there's a couple of funny things coming up. You're going to absolutely love them.
Oh, so excited for what's coming next. Now, I suppose my sort of last question, because we are sort of coming towards the end, but my last question for you both is, what advice would you give your characters going forward? Because obviously they're both quite outspoken, but what advice would you give to your characters, for life, really? Or do they not need any advice? What would you say?
That's a really great question, because I think through the production, through the show, the development of each scenario that's happened, the lessons have been learnt. You will see it. There's an opening up, say, for Moira. She's been pretty protective and closed in various lots of areas, but there's a softening that's happened there, and I don't want to give it away.
No.
But there are changes that have occurred, and it's purely comes about by being in the company of people like my dear friend here in the show and other great people, and it's really being open to that as an actor, learning. You're always learning from another fabulous person.
If you're not,
or not so fabulous,
you shut off, aren't you?
Yeah,
if you can't learn. And I think Robyn's right. The development, you'll see the development of what happens, and it's just that thing when you get older, you want company, but everybody annoys you. But it doesn't matter what age you are.
That's true.
And people talk about being on the spectrum. I think we're all on the spectrum, just little bits. It's to the degree of on the spectrum that you are, and acknowledging that you are on the spectrum. So I think it's great that what we do, and that's what's great about Jackie's character, Susan, because she just cuts through. There's some funny moments coming up. There's afterwards we'll have to, when it's all finished, we'll have to do another interview, and then we can talk about them.
Yeah, definitely.
Love to see what you think.
Yeah,
when you've seen these.
Super excited to see that. Now, I just want to say to you both, it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you for giving up your time to talk to me. You are welcome back. We will get you back on at some point in the future. When the show's finished, we can talk about everything. Thank you so much for giving up your time.
No worries. And to all the people out there in hospital doing all that, we're with you, and I'm glad that Neighbours bring so much joy to you. And, we wish you good health and healing.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
And a real pleasure to meet you over the online circumstance, but really look forward to seeing you again, Matthew.
And Matthew, I hope you realise how you're establishing yourself as an interviewer. You feel that now, because people want to do it, and I'm not blowing smoke. We do a lot of interviews, and I said to Robyn after that is one interview. This man is incredible at how he interviews, because there's no ego, and you research and you allow. So good on you, and I'm really glad you did this in COVID, and look at what you've created. So bravo, my boy.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Matthew.